Alright. What's up, YouTube? So apparently, scientists believe there's 4 types of alien life. You know, with all the alien files being released and everything. I thought this was super interesting. Wanted to show you all this.
We are not alone. The Pentagon released the UFO files a few weeks back, and we just found out over 1 billion people have visited the site. 1 billion. It's got to be a record. The War Department says more files will be released soon. UFO experts and top researchers have been investigating aliens for years. Their sources say dozens of crashed UFOs have been recovered, and what they found inside, shocking.
And do people think that there's one type of non-human intelligence that...
So if they release the files, then like they're obviously gonna release like what they found in the UFOs that have crashed, right? Like, isn't this gonna be like a basically official that they're just completely admitting that aliens are real?
visiting the Earth, or is there many, many types?
People who have been involved in recoveries have said
there are at least 4 types, 4 separate types.
4, huh?
Now, I have not had direct access to that, but I believe the people who I talked to.
4 different types of life.
4 different types of life.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them.
Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. So the Greys are just like your classic, like 3 to 4 foot tall, fucking slim, ugly looking gray, whatever you want to call them, dude. They're pretty terrifying, but yeah, that's the classic alien. Then we get the Reptilians. These are interesting. These got all the conspiracy theories and everything going, where they control the world and everything. Like, yeah, they can shapeshift. World control. The theory posits that most of the world's elite, including royalty, politicians, and business leaders, are actually reptilians. That's crazy. Like, honestly, there's got to be some truth to it, right? Like, it's crazy to think about. And then the insectoids are like praying mantis looking things. But the bugs, a sophisticated hive mind species broken into distinct castes like workers, warriors, and queens. They have no, like, whatever. The Nordics are like, you know, they're supposed to look like Norwegians or like Swedish people or something, but they're super tall. Tall, physically attractive being with fair skin, blue eyes, and long straight blonde hair. So they're supposed to like look like us? Dude, it's so hard to believe. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And I think it's kind of funny that this is all being released like during the Epstein files and all the bull crap that's going on.
Some have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien, and the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall. We haven't seen the evidence, but Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming, and there are a lot of believers in Congress.
Is this real, bro?
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and I have observed things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way.
The problem we have right now is the deep state's fighting the president on release, and he kept his word, and I suspect some of our not so
Bro, the president is the deep state.
And
Just
some
stop.
of our alphabet agencies are slow walking a lot of the information. It's about power, it's about control, and that's kind of what runs Washington.
You think. And we're all just supposed to sit here and like pretend that Trump isn't a part of the deep state? That like a billionaire that's been tied to celebrities like dude, been tied to celebrities his whole life, is in the Epstein files, like he's not a part of the deep state? Yeah, okay.
So why is our own government fighting so hard to keep these secret? Well, 12 scientists have either gone missing or died. Now, we don't know if that's related, but people are scared to talk.
We don't know if that's related.
One I thought was going to do an interview, and then a couple days before sent me a message saying, after further consideration and long talks with my wife, I decided I'd be forfeiting my life if I participated in your interview. And I thought that was like very unsettling message to get, obviously, but also very specific word choice, forfeiting my life.
That's crazy.
Dan Fair is the director and producer of The Age of Disclosure, the film that started to shake loose the UFO files. All right, Dan, what have you heard about these different breeds of alien life?
Different breeds of alien.
Look, a number of the people I interviewed in my film, senior intelligence officials, went on the record saying that there have been dozens of crashed craft of non-human origin over the years, and elements of our government have recovered those crashes, and they've gotten out of that technology of non-human origin, and in some cases, non-human bodies that were on these craft. A number of the people in my film go on the record saying that the bodies were not all the same type, meaning there were multiple species.
Were the bodies alive or were they dead?
The people in my film talked about events where they were dead bodies, they were deceased bodies.
Okay, and there's a lot of speculation about the amount of UFO information we've been given on this first tranche. We expected more. We know there is more. Why do you think people inside the government are fighting so hard to release more?
Yeah, so the president gave his...
I wonder why, right? It's just kind of a coincidence that this all is coming out now. Like, it's got to be a distraction. Like, what more of a reason? Like, what would the government benefit, like, releasing these files? Like, they obviously are releasing them to benefit them in some kind of a way, because they hid them from us this long for a reason.
Directive in middle of February, essentially instructing all federal agencies to declassify evidence of non-human intelligent life and UAP. What happened after that is the White House had to go get that evidence out of the hands of all these federal agencies, and they all for the most part pushed back. The people who have gatekept this information for 80 years, they don't want to share it. They've gotten a lot of power and control over the years, and it's just frankly not human nature for people to want to give up power.
See, I honestly kind of believe what he's saying, but at the same time, I feel like they've definitely been like slowly conditioning us over the past couple of decades, kind of desensitizing us and getting us more and more open to it. Like, I'm sure people would freak out, or are going to freak out much less than they would if they released this information like 30 years ago.
Or in control. So there's a tug of war happening behind the scenes. There are a number of other reasons guiding their desire to keep this secret, including a general belief that the public can't handle the truth. I would argue the public can handle the truth. I think my film shows that.
Now we can.
People aren't watching it and jumping out of windows. They're curious and they want to learn more. There's also a general feeling that, a concern that they can't tell the American public what they know and don't know without also telling our adversaries and giving them some sort of advantage. But I think that that's not really accurate. I think our adversaries know we're not alone in the universe. They know we've been recovering craft of non-human technology, non-human origin. Saying it out loud wouldn't give them any new information. Those base facts can be shared.
Like, the credibility factor? This is a government that's lied to us about a lot of things for a lot of years, and this was one of the big ones. You were called crazy if you even see.
Yeah, the U.S. government has like openly experimented on its, like the public for like who even knows how long. Like, they've literally just kidnapped people off the street and then performed experiments on them. Like, what do you call it? What was it called? MK Ultra is like a perfect example, and that's just like one.
Suggested anything like this, and now they're releasing files admitting that it was actually real. Are they trying to protect themselves, their own credibility?
Yeah, there's certainly.
It's just funny how like all the people that were considered crazy like 20, 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, like Alex Jones and all the people going off on all these crazy conspiracy theories. It's just funny how now all of them are just basically becoming true.
Element of that. I mean, no one wants to take accountability. You know, a lot of people's lives were ruined over the years covering this up. A lot of careers were ruined. And, you know, one of the other concerns people who involved in keeping the secret have is the fact that they're worried about coming forward, sharing evidence they have, and then being punished for it, being treated like criminals. You know, and so there are members of Congress right now who are trying to put together amnesty language to give protections to these people so they can step forward more comfortably.
If they did end up releasing an image or a video of non-human life
that'd be
recovered
crazy.
from a craft, and they put that out there, what do you think the public reaction would be?
I mean, truthfully, I think this day and age, with the rise of AI, half the country would probably...
Bro, nobody would even give a fuck. Like, people would probably be like, oh, wow, and then the next day go back to fucking work.
Probably think it's an AI image and not real. That's why I think, you know, my film has moved the needle, because it's credible people putting their reputations on the line to share what they legally can. And there's real stakes to that. You know, I think it makes much more of an impact these days when we live in a time where everyone thinks everything they see online is fake.
Do you think the president's a believer? This weekend he posted an image of himself walking down the tarmac with an alien.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Look, I think he's learned the reality of the situation, that we're not alone in the universe. And, you know, I think this disclosure process is happening because he's put it in motion. I know, I just heard today from friends on the House Committee to Declassify Federal Secrets that there will be another 40 or so UAP videos declassified in the next 30 days. On top of that, key members of the cabinet are aggressively trying to find the most meaningful evidence within the federal agencies and branches of the military, so they can then decide what of that evidence can safely be declassified. And there's, you know, this is going to be a rolling process. It's going to be a rolling disclosure process.
So they're still not going to release everything they know, because if they released everything they know, he's basically saying that people would lose their minds.
I mean, we're seeing a video right now on the screen. I expect to see better quality videos. We've been hearing stories about craft that right degree angle, you know, things that just you can't even conceptualize flying that way. It's a humbling experience for the human race. That has to be a major issue here, almost a religious issue.
Yeah, look, some people say they worry it would negatively impact religion. I don't really personally see that. I think that, you know, all the world's religions will sort of fit this into their existing dogma in one way or another.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, you could literally put like an alien on the street, dude, and have him take interviews, and they'd find a way to explain it with religion, like it.
And yeah, I think a lot of these arguments that society can't handle the truth and we're all going to be too shook up by this, I don't think that holds up at this day and age.
No, well, this presidency has been the age of disclosure, and I think we should just keep it going. The more we know,
absolutely.
I think we just have to follow the truth wherever it leads us. Everybody.
The age of disclosure, dude. Yeah, right. But yet they didn't release all the Epstein files, and they still haven't released all of the UFO files. Like, yeah, sure, they're giving us some, but whatever, dude.
Yeah, watch absolutely. The age of disclosure. It is eye-opening, to say the least. Thank you so much. Be sure to like
the president.
So, yeah, it's crazy. Like, honestly, can't even believe it's real life. But yeah, if y'all enjoyed this video, give me a like and a subscribe and a comment. And yeah, I plan on making some more live reaction videos. I'm not really sure on what, but I'm gonna keep trying to stay consistent and keep making some videos for y'all. So I appreciate everybody who gives me a like and subscribe, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.